Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. We gave the Windows computer world a good burn. Now let's do the Mac. Alright, because I own both, damn it. Anyways, bad points. Starting off with way too much security and a lot of unnecessary security. Some of it is necessary and I agree with it, but other stuff can really go. That's one, okay? Of course, negative stuff first. CPU, performance and efficiency cores. We would get far better results if we could ditch out the efficiency cores out of every Mac, okay? And then just go all performance cores in desktops, all efficiency level cores in laptops. Desktops should have performance cores, yes. Laptops, absolutely no. Leave them with lower end efficiency cores. Laptops are just laptops, okay? They're not ever, like, no laptop is designed for hardcore video editing, okay, or 3D rendering, stuff like that. They're not designed to handle that. Desktop systems are, okay? But unfortunately, we get crapped out on both sides of the fence because we have efficiency cores to deal with, and it steals a lot of performance from the computer that could otherwise be there, okay, and really help with other things. Like on the Mac side, we would get better gaming experience if we could ditch all of these friggin' efficiency cores out, okay? But we would still need to solve the other problem, the other elephant in the room, and that's the GPU in the SoC. It's horrible. It's not really great for gaming. Low-end stuff, sure, why not? But any kind of high-end gaming, it's really not a very good option for us, okay? And the amount of work that's involved in rewriting and restructuring a program to be accelerated for Apple Silicon so that it can be very playable, it's just a horrendous undertaking and very costly. And part of that is because of the weak GPU. The GPU is very strong, don't get me wrong. It's very strong for video editing and for 3D rendering, stuff like that. But the graphics involved in that sort of stuff is not the same as the graphics requirements for gaming. They're not the same, okay? So they got to fix this. They got to come to some kind of a balance somewhere where they can get this to work out properly. And so far they keep failing. Even in the M4s, they've still failed, okay? And that's what I've been seeing anyways, because I've been watching a few M4 videos lately, and it's like, unless you're coming from an M1 or an M2, don't even think about buying an M4 because you're going to be very disappointed, okay? That's the word. Now I have an M1 and it's been fine overall. I've known for over 3 years now that I've had this thing that, yep, it's kind of sucky for gaming. And yet there are games that I can get that are, they're cool, but they're just kind of like not me. I mean, I like sniper 3D shoot 'em up type of games. Like, I'm a Far Cry fanatic, for example. I like that kind of gaming experience. If I can shoot it and kill it, I'm happy, right? But I want to do it fast-paced. I want to have fun. I want to have that interaction with multiple characters trying to kick my butt on the screen. And I just am not going to get that experience on an M1, unfortunately, okay? The best experience I can hope to get is I was able to port over Skyrim. It was the Elder Scrolls V. I ported that to the Mac. And that game at 1080p and medium graphics, magnifique. But to run it at 4K, where I'd really like it because it really looks awesome, and going ultra graphics, well, I lose a little too much FPS. So it's kind of like, well, I could still go 4K and cut it down to medium, but it's still, it could be better playability. So I took it down to 1080p, and it's fine. It works absolutely awesome, okay? I got lucky on that particular conversion, okay? But other things I wasn't so lucky on, and other things I did pretty decent jobs for porting over myself, and that was thanks to Paul the Tall Porting Toolkit. Makes it very simple and easy to use, unlike Apple's porting kit, which it's kind of not the same idea. But anyway, I don't run crossover or parallels because it's a waste of money. You're just flushing money down the toilet paying for those programs, let alone continually to renew them for subpar game performance. That can easily be seen if you watch anybody playing the newest Cyberpunk under crossover or parallels, it is pathetic on the M4. And yet they're going to port this game to Apple Silicon Native, which I'm hoping when that happens we see much better FPS, because otherwise, yeah, we're definitely going to be in trouble. Because that is a very severely demanding game on the PC. And so basically they got to wuss it out enough that it becomes very enjoyable on the Mac. Because, yeah, Apple Silicon is not a really great gaming platform yet. It's going to take a while yet before they get their stuff together, okay? But a lot of that does have to do with that core problem, both on the CPU side and the GPU side. The other problem is RAM, unified RAM, right? The RAM is shared. The RAM is used for video. The RAM is used for your operating system to get to the desktop with that video level graphics. And currently with Sequoia 15.2, you're looking at 6.8 gigs just to get to the desktop. So if all you got is a 16 gig machine, you're going to be very limited for having any kind of good gaming experience, but at least some of your programs, if you're using video editors that don't chew a lot of RAM, then you're okay. So iMovie it is. If you really want to use DaVinci Resolve or heavier duty video editing programs, well, you're going to need a Mac that's capable of at least 64 gigabytes of RAM to make it even worthwhile to bother, because these better programs require a bare minimum of 16 gigs to itself just to fire up the program, never mind doing anything in it. So pretty hoggy, okay? So yeah, and the cost of RAM from Apple is another problem too, and the cost of the SSD space, it's just absolutely insane. At least on a desktop you can get around that. You don't need to pay for any extra storage than what would even come with the computer. So just put that money into your RAM, because that there is no solution for yet. DOS Dude figured out a way around the SSD problem in a lot of our Macs, but definitely has not figured out the RAM thing to be able to upgrade the RAM ourselves via the assistance of somebody like himself. That has not been figured out yet, how to switch out that unified RAM chip. So, I mean, it's there in the open, but how do we get it off and change it with something new? Like, how is that going to work? And because, I mean, it's a bit of a process just to do the SSDs as it is. Saves money, but, anyway. The laptops, though, I think they should be all taken down to efficiency level, performance, and literally lower the prices. Don't try and push a, fancy pants laptop on us, because we have seen ourselves that when you do heavy load video editing on the laptops, they overheat quite a bit. The fans go mental, and therefore not designed to do this job properly or efficiently. That's best left for the desktops again, okay? I've said it before. We've talked about this whole thing about laptops and why they shouldn't be used for video editing. Check out that video, and then you'll get a better understanding, and now we can continue on with this. There's not a whole lot of other side effect problems to these things as far as negativity goes, but the negative points we do have are quite severe, and they do need to be addressed, okay, and addressed accordingly. Now, I do understand Apple is now starting to ship more usable RAM, even with a base model M2 MacBook Air. Now comes with 16 gigs. Well, it's about freaking time. They should have been doing that years ago. But they didn't, right? Because it's just Apple for you. But now with Sequoia chewing up 6.8, I guess they found out they didn't have a choice. Now they got to give us 16 gigs. Because otherwise everything's on virtual world and you're just going to burn out SSDs. But even 16 gigs, you got to be careful. I've got 16 gigs. It's as high as my Mini was able to go when I bought it. Brand new from Apple. I custom ordered it and maxed it out for RAM, which was 16. I put the drive to 512. And for me, that's actually quite adequate, to be honest. I do have an external 1 terabyte Thunderbolt drive that I'm now using I have been actually since the get-go. I use it for backing up important things I can't afford to lose. Because I don't care if I have a major crash or something on my internal, or whatever kind of drive I'm using as a boot drive, I could care less, because I'm not losing anything, and I can just reinstall apps. But I can't replace my videos that I need to save. I can't replace my pictures. Can't replace all my other data files. I need to keep them safe and secure on an external drive, and also a double cloned backup of the same information all the time. This way, if something happens to this drive while it's online, I still have a backup of all the exact same information all the time. So it comes in handy, trust me. Don't ever take stupid chances. I learned once the hard way, and believe me, it did a lot of damage. So after that, I changed my ways on how I handle my data file stuff. Anyway, as far as good points go, I mean, video editing is great. Even still on the M1, it's fantastic. Problem is that when you are doing a video editing program, for example, or any program for that matter, that requires the performance cores, your efficiency cores get shut down. So if you're running another program, like say an internet browser, it runs off efficiency cores. Well, okay, that's fine. That's off the efficiency cores. But guess what? You fired up a video editor that requires the demanding cores, it automatically shuts down the efficiencies, and that program now is utilized in the same set of cores, being performance cores, as your video editor. Or maybe it's a compression program. Compression programs also take a lot of demand, and they need performance cores. And I have literally done enough experimenting that I can actually tell you this is a real thing, that this is exactly what it does, which sucks. So here I am, I'm surfing the internet, I'm having a good time on myself, I'm barely using up any RAM at all anyways, and I'm good to go. So then I decide, all right, I'm going to edit my video, okay? So I'm going to go and I'm going to edit my video. Well, that's fine. I'm a very cut, dry, quickie person, snip, snip, boom, boom, and I go to export. Now, if I don't have any other software running on the computer, an average 20-minute 1080p video, it's exported within 3 to 4 minutes. As soon as I run a browser, I add a few extra minutes. That really sucked. So then one day I thought, well, let's try another experiment. I got to know if this is real or not, okay? So I fired up my browser, doing my browser. I'm got a video that's being compressed, and at the same time, I am trying to export a video. The video, if I run it straight under the compressor with no other programs running, 3.5 minutes tops. Okay? Pretty good. Maybe 4 if it's a pretty big file, especially if it's 4K. Okay? 4 minutes. As soon as I fire up my browser, it adds to the time. Now I'm up to like 12 or 10 minutes. Okay? Oh, okay, well, let's try exporting a video, having the browser open, watching a YouTube video, and compressing this other program. Well, now my export time just got turned into about 15 minutes. Okay, almost, all right. And then the compressor program, well, if that video normally only took a couple of minutes, well, now its time is exponentially increased, okay? But at least I can still go watch a video, and I don't really notice a bog in the browser, right? Because the other programs are doing their thing, right? But all these programs are all in the performance cores, which I only have 4 of them. Because remember, the Mac Mini M1 is an 8-core CPU for efficiency, for performance, but none of my efficiency cores, which should be being used for the browser, are, because, well, it's been taken place by performance cores, and that program got shoved into there because of the programs I'm running require performance cores only, and you can't have both running at the same time, it would seem. So we pay the price, okay? So I've seen this myself. I've done experiments in other fashions too, with all the exact same results. Lag, and more lag, the more stuff we try to do. And it's taking for friggin' ever, okay? So if you're going to do something and you want to get it done quick so you can move on to your next project, then your best option, just do one thing at a time, okay? Otherwise, it's going to take more and more time, which slows you down. It makes you start feeling like you're running an Intel Mac again, and really, you haven't done much. And I don't run out of main memory. I'm still not into virtual memory, even having all 3 of those programs at once. Okay, and I generally have 4 tabs open on Chrome. I have my 2 email accounts, different tabs. I have Facebook, and then of course I have YouTube. And so I'm watching a video. Now, if I'm uploading a video, oh gosh, does that ever start to throw a monkey in the wrench then? Trying to do that and do other things at the same, and I've done it because, well, I have the RAM left over that I can be able to squeeze. I might as well squeeze it and still not hit virtual, right? I'm pretty good with the programs that I'm choosing to use, at least, that they're not RAM hogs, but they're definitely processing hogs. Okay, but everything gets put to almost to a grinding halt the more things you try to do at once. But the only thing that's working to your benefit is, well, at least your browser is going to get a little bit slower, but not a whole lot really worth writing home about. But it is noticeable trying to go page to page while the other programs are doing their thing, because everything is just chunky monkeying. And of course, then you got the fan is finally, you can finally hear the fan because it's moving about 4,000 RPM. And your temperature is sitting somewhere around 90 degrees, 95 degrees, even on a Mini. So there are ways you can actually make these Minis get quite hot. Okay, but at least it's under control. So this is where we're at with this. So you can definitely do some multitasking without a big deal, and it can work for you to a certain point, obviously. But there's a big price. Now, as far as good things go, I love AirDrop. I love the integration of my other Apple devices all the way around. I'm using my iPhone right now as a continuity camera to shoot this video. Okay? And fantastic. Okay? I love that ability. I love how the layout of the toolbar is down below with all my icons representing my programs. I don't even need to see any titles. I know exactly what every name of those programs are without even putting my mouse in front of them because of the graphic picture that I get. And I love that even on thumbnails of documents, etc. It's just so nice and easy. Organizing my desktop area is a lot easier to do. Running programs from an external drive. All my games and some other programs do run from an external drive. Why have them on the internal if I can run them from the external? Absolutely flawless. I also love how Mac apps are very self-contained. Unless they do run an installer, in which case they will be putting crap elsewhere in the computer. But otherwise, the majority of our apps, it's just drag, drop, and if you do get a file into your computer, it's a preference file. But otherwise, a lot of programs, it stays self-contained of 100%. So when it's gone, and all the pieces go with it. And that's fantastic. I love that. And I love that I don't have to try and search through a whole pile of menus and this other crap like you do on Windows just to find a damn program that might not be in your toolbar. And of course, the toolbar on Windows, unless you do decide to grow it bigger, I mean, the visuals are pretty damn tiny. Like, what the hell is that program again? I can't remember. And then you got to hover your mouse and then, find out what it is. And that's a pain in the butt, too. But that's Windows, right? So, but I love how, we can do a lot. We can magnify our toolbar to really make big stuff, right? I mean, it's cool. Now, I'm using a LG 4K display that is absolutely fantastic. Okay, it's fantastic for the color gamuts and everything. It is fantastic for the quality of the picture, period. The resolution goes to 4K. I can drop it as low as I want. I can hook 2 other computers up at the same time simultaneously, which my PC is running in the background now, and I don't remember what I left running on it, but apparently, because I didn't shut down my computers last night, thought my PC was shut down, but apparently not. But anyways, I love all the benefits that come along on the good side. Same as setting up new Bluetooth devices. So easy on the Mac. So simple. Same as Wi-Fi connections. Oh, what are my battery levels like? Well, on my keyboard it's this, on my mouse it's that. And for some reason, I think my keyboard is actually out of juice. Oh, no, it was just asleep. So 50% on my keyboard, 90% on my mouse. And these are third-party keyboards and mice because I hate Apple stuff. That is one thing I'll say. I really detest Apple's keyboards and mice. I really do. They're way overpriced and very cheaply built, I find. Of anything, the keyboards I think are the worst. But the mice, they're impossible to play video games with. You want a mouse? You buy a real mouse. Buy a Logitech, okay? Now you can play games. Same with the keyboards. Really built quality. And the batteries last longer between recharges. But that's my little plug for Logitech for you. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of benefits, especially with third-party gear. I've not had any problems. I like how most of our stuff, there's not even a driver required. You just plug it and go. You know, it doesn't even need to set it up. It's just there. And that's all there is to it. And I kind of like that too. So I like all the ease of use and everything. The interface is fantastic for the Mac OS. I mean, just because there's a lot of things that I don't like about Macs, I'm still going to always, support Apple, okay? I just don't buy a new computer every time a new candy coating comes out because, well, it seems to be that's what it's been in the last while. But I'm pretty sure that if I had an M4 in my hands right now, I'd probably adore it, considering I'd be going from a 1 to a 4. And that's just it. From what I've been hearing on the net, if you're currently running an M1 or an M2 and you're going to go M4, best thing you could ever do. And you're going to love it. Great experience, other than the gaming still sucks. But it's the way it is, right? But if you're going from a 3 to a 4, no. It's kind of like M1 to M2. Nope, don't do it. It's stupid. 2 to 3, stupid. 3 to 4, stupid. But 1, 2, 3, okay. 1 to 4, definitely okay. 2 to 4 is okay, but no other combinations. See how it works? You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm going to get an M4 this year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford it. Who knows? Maybe, well, if I can't, maybe the following year I'll get an M5 when they come out. Because maybe by then, hopefully Apple will straighten things out a bit more. Who knows, right? It's a long haul and wait. But eventually you got to jump on the bandwagon and take your chances. But on the other side of the fence, that's why they invented YouTube. So this way you can be sure of things, that it's going to work for you before you buy into it. Because once you buy it, you own it and it's yours. So you have to deal with the consequences, good or bad, on your choice there. Anyways, that's pretty much about what I got on this video. I'm pretty sure I probably missed a few good points. May have missed a few other bad points, but, the gist of it is kind of like that, all right? I'm hopefully looking forward to being able to get an M4. But I'm going to play on them at Best Buy first and see, how they react, stuff like that. And then I'll decide, maybe I'll think about an M4, especially if I can get the money together in the new year. I don't know. We'll have to see. Or I might just stick it out with my M1, because, I still know that I have at least, as far as my onboard 16 gigs of RAM goes, I think if I do it carefully enough, and stay away from swap, I think I can still be good for about another year, year and a half. And then I'm definitely going to have to buy something by then because, yeah, otherwise I'm screwed. At least my PC, I'm good for the next 15, 20 years. That's something that I can be thankful for. And that's a whole other story, but trust me, that thing is kitted. It's fine. Anyway, that's all there is to it for today. Thanks so much for watching. See you on the next one. And, oh yeah, don't forget to check out that Windows video too, eh? It's just recent, so check my channel for recent uploads. See ya.